So here we go. Another episode of the pizza. Also addicts. So we've got a few things to do on it. And as you'll see as the video progresses, things don't go entirely according to plan. So first things first, I have a box of bits, a crimping tool, some wire, and while I'm in there I'll replace the rotor arm, since I finally got the right one. As you can see, I cobbled together some leads to get it home because I'd given me leads to somebody else to make up some new ones, and he hasn't had time, unfortunately, but he did bring me some stuff in to do it, but forgot to bring the old leads back. So the king lead obviously wasn't long enough, so I've put it into another short lead. I'm amazed that made it home, but it did, and obviously there, but we'll make up some nice new ones. So let's put you in a holder and get on with it. So let's start with the king lead first, or the coil lead. Out. The end of this, and that wants to be about the same length. So we'll go with about that. Like so. Obviously now we just need to cut this back a little bit and put an end on it. I have these wire strippers, but whether they'll work for this or not, I don't know. Let's give it a go. Oh, this is a bit big for it. No, that won't work. Cable's just a little bit too big. So that one first. First of all, we want a boot. In this case, we want the right-angled boot. Then again, I'm not doing it on camera, am I? Put that in, so that is down underneath. Slide it in and crimp it down. And then, I don't know if you need to, but I then move it over to this other side and just give it another crimp. Then that's crimped on. Pull it down. So that's one done. Apart from the fact I've put completely the wrong connector on that end. We have these long connectors to go on the plug end. So we'll try that one again. So finally, moment of truth. I've put a battery on it, put a new rad cap on it, and we've got the new leads on. And I've got Al here doing the Land Rover water pump. But let's see if this starts with me new HT leads. Gonna have to look at that start motor. Well, that seems alright. My leads work. That's still a bit smoky. Now I can spin it over. I've just replaced this rotor. There was this focus, there we go, screw there, just to slide it off, so I've swapped that over. There's the old one, as you can see, quite worn, so we'll see if that helps at all. Right, well, the pizza is kicking my arse. I've brought it down to the car wizards today. Mr. Kendall, my mechanic. We're going to flush out the coolant system and just have a prod around underneath. But yesterday it was running fine. Today I've tried driving it down here, it wouldn't rev, it was missing, it was smoking like a buggery, stalled just as we came in and it won't start again now. So he's just had to nip off. I'm now going through the plugs. They're quite black and awful considering it's done next to no miles. So I'm going to give these a clean up and gap them. Probably do a compression test maybe, and go from there. See what I can find. Well, I've done a compression test. It's not too bad. Cylinder 2's a little bit down, but not much. Clean and gap the plugs. See if it starts. Well, I'll stop it again because I want to do a coolant flush, so I don't want the water too hot. Today, I'm waiting for a mate of mine to come and pick me up. We're heading to St Helens near Liverpool. And the reason we're going there, and the reason I'm waiting for my mate, is the pizza is going to need a bit more work than I'd initially hoped for. So it's now a bit of a long-term project rather than the quick get it on the road project I'd initially hoped. I reckon probably a year, maybe 18 months, really depends on money. The engine started playing up as a bit of a knock from the bottom end. It's seriously overfueling. I do need to have a quick look at the timing, make sure it hasn't jumped a tooth or something like that, but But it certainly needs investigating, and there's a bit more rust than I'd initially hoped. So I've decided that we're going to have the engine out one way or another. That one's coming out. Sort out the engine bay, sort out the wiring in the engine bay, get the welding done. I'll probably get that done by a professional and get some paintwork done at the same time. Then what I'm doing today, I'm going up to see Clive from the Isuzu Piazza Turbo Owners Club, IPTOC, who is going to help me out with some bits. So I'm going to pick up another engine, order gaskets and seals needed to rebuild said engine, thermostats and plug leads, etc., spark plugs, basically everything I need to rebuild an engine. So either the one I've got or the one I pick up will get stripped down, go through, hopefully doesn't need much in the way of machine work, maybe a skim head or something, but and rebuild that, ready to go in, paint it, polish it, whatever. Obviously while I'm doing that, the welding will get done, paintwork will get done, I'll sort out the engine bay, I'll sort out some of the wiring I'm not happy with. And hopefully, again, I said in about a year, 18 months, I should have a really nice car at the end of it. So yeah, wait for Al to turn up and I'll head up north. I don't know what I'll film, it depends on time, weather, whether or not Clive wants to be on camera, I don't know, all sorts of things, but mainly time, to be fair. And but anyway, yeah, so I'll see you soon. So we're nearly, where are we, 16 miles from Clive's, and we're in roadworks again, but nearly there. Soon have some pizza bits. So here we are in St Helens, I think. We're not far away from Clive, so I won't film it because I don't want to give his exact location, but next left I reckon. But yeah, so I don't know if he wants to be on camera, but we might see something, we might not. Well, we're back from up north. I didn't film as much as I'd hoped to. Again, time got away from me. I forgot when I was there to speak to Clive whether or not he was happy to be on camera. If he is, I'll have a chat with him next time I go up, because I'm sure I'll probably need some more parts at some point in the future. But yeah, brilliant bloke, really helpful, sorted me out with everything I need. Give me a lot of advice on what to look for, what are the problem areas and everything. So yeah, really helpful. I can't praise the club enough. If you're thinking of getting a Piazza, or you have one or whatever, join the club, it's free, speak to Clive, brilliant. I've spoke to Matt in the part work at Oso Retro, who's also got one, again very helpful community it seems. But yeah, so anyway, he's helped me out with the parts. So what pizza bits have I brought back? Well, we have a pair of headlights. Don't need them as such, but I think it's worth having them. And obviously we have a load of service kit. Plug leads, dizzy cap, front arm, outer ball joints, some again, lower ball joints, spark plugs, what's that, thermostat, a rotor, what we got there, water pump, oops, sorry, you're not in view, water pump, bottom arm bushes, bolts, oil filter, air filter, auto trans filter kit, fuel filter, all the filters there. And in here we have timing belts and all of the gaskets I'll need to rebuild this, a spare engine. As we saw, the one on the car may or may not have major issues, so I have a spare. Obviously it needs rebuilding, but then so does the one in the car. So rebuildable engine. So yeah, we will be getting on with that after Christmas, checking out the one in the car and checking out this and seeing which one to rebuild. So there we go. It's turned into a bit more of a long-term project than I'd originally hoped, but we'll get there. Said we'll rebuild one of the engines. Because the engine will come out, it gives me a chance to go through the engine bay, clean all that up, sort out any wiring issues in there. I'll probably have the welding done rather than do it myself, just so it's done properly, and get a bit of paint work done, sort out a couple of bits of wiring that I'm not happy with inside, and touch up a few bits of paint and get the rest all nicely polished. And it will probably take me, well, I'm giving myself a year, so it'll probably take me 18 months and probably cost more than I'm hoping, but I should have a really nice car at the end of it. I have also made the decision, I've been umming and ahhing, but I've finally made the decision, I think. So he says, I've made the decision, but I think I'm going to change it to a manual. I do need to just sit down with my mechanic and just go through it, but talking to Clive at the Pizza Club when I picked up the parts, he has pretty much everything I need. It shouldn't be too much of a job, apparently, and obviously I'll keep all the other bits so I can return it to an auto should I wish to at a later date. But I think if I'm going to do it, it makes sense to do it while I've got the car in bits. So yeah, rather a lot more pizza content coming than I'd initially hoped, but good for you, not so good for me. There we go. Like, comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you in a future one. Maybe the pizza, maybe not. Ta-da.